Welcome to Almost Here, Round the Corner Future Technology podcasts with Richard Jacobs. Future technologies poised to transform our lives for better or worse are the focus of this podcast. Almost here means these technologies are now here and starting to be used, or just around the corner, from Bitcoin to artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.
This is the Future Tech Podcast. I'm Alan Thomas, and I'm joined by Guille Wajner, co-founder of Greeneum. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Alan. Thanks for having me here, and it's a pleasure to talk to you.
Oh, great. And we can just jump right on in it. What is Greeneum, and what do you guys do?
At Greeneum, we truly believe that blockchain technology can fundamentally change the world. So through that lens, we are using it to bring renewable energy power microgrids to developing nations. Many of the people we plan to bring power to have never before had access to reliable electricity. In fact, according to UN, more than 1 billion people around the world live in the dark. So we think about how much better their lives will be in the not too distant future.
And were you already in the tech space, or were you already doing humanitarian efforts? How did you come to co-found Greeneum?
Okay, in the past, I worked mainly in media and communications, and I became involved with Greeneum when my cousin Asaf, another of the co-founders, reconnected with me after several years apart. And we got talking about how Greeneum going to fundamentally change and improve people's life, and especially in developing nations. So I truly couldn't wait to be part of this project.
And of course, when dealing with something that will affect developing nations, I'm assuming you have to maybe go through a lot of red tape in order to get set up in the beginning stages.
Yes, of course. I mean, we are not only developing our technology to emerging markets, we develop our technology to the whole world. The idea is that those markets maybe need the technology more than other markets because of the lack of technology that can happen in those markets.
So how does that start when on day one, when you say we're forming this company, this is our mission? How do you start in terms of getting past these challenges of going into these areas and trying to get this set up? Do you figure out what government officials to go through first, or is it a utility, or how does that work?
We thought that we need to get the main actors in the same set, because it's not possible to develop something if you don't consider the whole market. So Greeneum has three main components, for example, a marketplace and a proprietary AI-driven backend. The marketplace enables individual institutions to contribute to green energy projects around the world and uses smart contracts to complete accountability at all stages of the projects. So in order to use the marketplace, all you have to do is buy our green tokens. And we are currently holding an ICO in a private stage, and you can find more information if you want. But for example, with microgrids, once the microgrid is up and running, our artificial intelligence then helps producers to better manage production and distribution through accurate forecasting. And of course, an efficient distribution, it's keeping prices lower for power consumers. So these two important things shows how important can be for both market status, the emerging one and the more developed ones. And the third component is our incentives. We award with carbon credits and green credits to green energy producers that they can trade on our carbon markets. Unlike other carbon credits or certificates, these are more valuable, because they cost almost nothing to be generated.
Okay, so if I'm an individual user who wants to get involved with Greeneum, what does that look like on the first day when I go to the website or sign up, or how would I start?
Let's say that you have like a solar panel in your roof, I can tell you, for example, about our pilot programs, and we have two pilot programs, for example, one in Israel and one in Cyprus. In your case, if you are a part of a microgrid, I can share with you our experience in Israel. In Israel, we work with a microgrid that it's one of a kind, and in these microgrids, we got to install our technology in order to work better inside the microgrid. And in Cyprus, for example, we are working with forecasting algorithms, and we predict with predictive analysis assessment of the island energy needs and created a plan for optimization. And it's important to say that both pilots are very different and take care of different situations. That, of course, helps to validate our technology.
And so in doing this, what would you say is the ultimate mission statement of the company then, in terms of what you want to do long term?
Of course, we are trying to build a more sustainable future. That's our main goal. If you, for example, you are a user that want to be part of our goals and you consider our vision as part of your life, you can be part of it buying, for example, green tokens, or in some months, and I am giving some heads up, you will buy our green pet. That it's a unique device that will be connected to your own green energy productions. If you have a solar panel, if you are a small, big, or a producer, you will start getting be rewarded with green certificates and green tokens, for example. So there is many ways to be part of Greeneum. The idea is, as I told before, to consider the market as one. You have the producer, you have the consumer, and you have the prosumer. And if you're a producer, you will be using our technology to produce, to have a better production. If you are a consumer, you will use the technology not only to improve your consumption, also to be rewarded for being part of our market. So a consumer becomes a prosumer because it's a consumer that will product.
And so this green pad that you mentioned, the device that you mentioned, where you can be rewarded green tokens. Can we talk a little bit about what it would take to be rewarded the tokens?
Yeah, of course. Imagine that you have your green energy wind turbine, and it's producing energy. So you will connect our green pet to your production, and through this green pet, you will be able to be connected to our network. That means to be connected to our cloud and to use our algorithms. And these algorithms will validate your energy. That means that this algorithm will know if your energy is green, and if your energy is green, it means that we will reward you by the megawatt hour you will be producing.
So just regular use of just regular energy use then could get you to a pretty good amount of tokens, earn you a pretty good amount of green tokens.
Yeah, renewable energy will get you a good amount of tokens, and as every blockchain project, the more people getting involved and being part of our network, the more difficult will be, or the more energy you will need to produce to mine our green energy tokens. And in this sense, it's important to say that we are considered to be stand on a different paradigm that, for example, Bitcoin stands, because one of the big complaints about Bitcoin is that you need tons amount of energy to mine Bitcoins. and we are mining our green tokens with green energy production, and that's very important.
And so let's talk a little bit about informing the company and putting together the green tokens. What are some of the challenges that you guys have run into as far as in getting to this point?
Well, thanks for the question. Challenges for us, it's day to day. I mean, using blockchain technology is a challenge. And why? Because it's new. And when you take new technology and you start developing new things, you find important, anxious to find solutions. So, for example, at the beginning, we, as any blockchain startup, educating people about the technology can be challenging. And yes, it's going to change the world. And yes, it's a fundamental shift away from the more traditional models. And education has to be a main focus for us and everyone else in the space. And the sooner more people know about it, the faster they will become converts. So I will totally choose educating the market as the big challenge of Greeneum.
And as far as doing that, would the main factor in that be early adopters using it and having word of mouth help to spread the use of it, or would it take a more formal marketing effort, do you think?
It's a mix of both. For example, an early adopter can be a facility that understands the energy market and needs to understand how blockchain will add value to his management and his production. And another early adopter can be a consumer in his house that he has like one solar panel. So both of them need to know better about the good things Greeneum can add to his to its value, to the green energy production and the green energy usage. And in the other part, on the other hand, you get like the blockchain market that understand perfectly how blockchain can get better prices of transaction, can be more secure, and can give more transparency to the market. And you need to explain them how can this help on the green energy market. Besides that, both of them understand that having a more sustainable world, it's having a better world.
And since we are talking about using blockchain technology with renewable energy, are you saying that all of the individual users' information, basically only they would have access to it, or only they and whoever they're getting the energy from would have access to it? Is that how it would be set up?
Our idea is to build a decentralized network. So in matter of access and in matter of information, everyone will get the whole information, the big picture about Greeneum. But at the moment you decide to connect to your production, for example, you will get specific information that we will give you, and of course you can scale up and hire our premium services like SaaS that we already developed them, and start knowing more and getting more from your production. It's in this case, it's a new way and an existing way to have like another income that you won't have because you already sell all the energy you have or you produce.
And so let's talk a little bit about up to this point. What would you say are the biggest achievements for Greeneum up to this point? Like, what are you the most proud of?
We are very proud of our team. It's a worldwide team that considers the whole picture, as I said. For example, we have our company is built in Israel. The team, it's also people from South America are part of the team. People from San Francisco are part of the team. So the capability of the team to work, it's obviously the main thing to be proud. And of course, the work that we generate as a group, for example, the technology that it's unique, the algorithms, the day-to-day work that we are that we know that we are improving. It's very important because if we don't improve, we cannot offer a better service to our uh, clients and our providers. So first, people; second, technology; and third, innovation. We feel very proud to be part of this blockchain new market because it's difficult, and we know that we can do it.
And I know that a lot of ideas get thrown around when you're developing a service like this, but are there ever any ideas or concepts that people come up with where you say, well, that's pretty ambitious, but we can't do that right now, or we shouldn't try to do all of that this year, maybe next year or in a later version or something like that?
The big difference is that we already prove our technology. Our two pilots shows the results that we need to get before showing the product to the market. This is not showing Greeneum, for example, is not showing an idea. It's showing a proved technology, and that's very important because you can see many other similar projects that have a great ideas to show, but when you see the core, you concern about a, a company that have a real improved technology. And Greeneum is that company in this field. In the green energy market, we already developed a unique blockchain solution for them.
And for Greenium itself, what does the roadmap look like for the next 12, 24 months? What's the plan?
Our plan is to keep developing our technology, of course. We want to have many green pets, for example, for every market. We want green pets for the home. We want green pets from the industry. But in some months, we will have a our public ICO that people will get the chance to be involved with Greeneum, buying green tokens, and getting to the market harder and harder because we are close. We are closing some deals with emerging markets companies and facilities that I can give you more details because it's private yet. But we will publish about these agreements that will be giving a new technology to some emerging markets that are needing.
And do you think that regulation from some of the these governments of the nations that you're in, do you think that their renewable energy regulation will ever kind of catch up to what Greenium is wanting to do?
Of course, that we know that regulations must be made on the market in general, and we agree and we work with regulations. We are not going against this world, and we will work with it. We will adjust if we need to, but we know that blockchain as a technology doesn't have like any bad things to review. It's all good. It's a new technology that will get better prices to final users, will give more transparency, and it's more secure. So we are working hard, and if anything come up, we will be working with it and overcome those situations and be part of it.
Okay, great. And what would you say is the big reason that people should want to sign up for Greenium and start using these green tokens, start earning these green tokens?
it's important to say that every target audience in the green energy market has his own purpose. But standing with Greeneum, it's standing with the big mission. It's standing with the idea to have a more sustainable future and supporting an eco-friendly future.
Okay, and what's the best way for listeners to get in touch with Greeneum and with you? What's the best method of getting in contact?
The best way is our webpage and our social media channels. You can find Greeneum Network on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, also in Telegram for the crypto community that uses a lot. And you can find a lot of information and a way to contact us in our blog. And we are happy to chat with everyone. We are open to new ideas, new opinion, and this is all about blockchain technology, getting everyday fresh ideas to improve. And we are very compromised with improving our technology and our world.
Okay, well, I want to thank you, Guille, for coming on and giving us all this great information about Greeneum, and just want to thank you for your time.
I want to thank you for this great interview. It was great to talk to you, and hope to chat again and be in touch and supporting Greeneum.
You have been listening to Almost Here, Around the Corner Future Technology podcast with Richard Jacobs. Subscribe to this podcast, post a review to discover more future technologies that are poised to transform our lives for better or worse, such as Bitcoin, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.